So yesterday I went back to Nuffield Health for my third HealthMOT, and as I did with the second one, because I wasn't doing these videos for the first one, I think I did show you the first one still though when I started doing the videos, but I have the results here and I'm going to go through them with you. Just first off, Nuffield Health, you need to sort out your online booking system, because when I got to reception they didn't have a record. Fortunately I had the email with me, which when they read they realised it was trying to book with 3 trainers in the cafe, so they're obviously investigating that. Thankfully the staff at the Printworks Nuffield Health are absolutely amazing, and they managed to get me my HealthMOT done there and then anyway. They actually had some free time to do so, so obviously something went right for me in that one. But as I say, the head office, your online booking system, it looks great, it's not working. You need to speak to the gyms and actually get it working, I think. But that's my rant over. Let's get on with the results. So, as I've said before, they go through several different tests here. I'm going to go through them one by one, and I've got a PDF copy of this, so you'll see it flash up on the screen with the individual results as I'm talking about them. So, I've still got to read the paper version. It's better than trying to get a computer here or something. So the first page, it's the usual rubbish about what they're trying to do and the fact they're not doctors, all that crap. We know this, it's the third time we've done it. So, the first thing it says is my height and my weight. And for my weight, they have a nice pretty graph. It was printed in black and white, I don't know why, so that all I've got is a black and white copy, I don't have a colour copy here. But the weight has gone down again. Now we know that, because you've been watching the videos weekly hopefully. If you haven't, then go back and have a look. But it's gone down by 6 kilograms, which when the trainer who was doing it saw that, the look on his face was priceless. He couldn't believe I'd lost 6 kilograms in a little over 3 months. And when he saw that I'd lost 11 kilograms over the first 3 months, he was even more amazed. So the fact that I can still surprise people with this, that is incredible to say the least. And as I say, he says I'm doing the right things in terms of getting the weight down. That is the most important stat of this entire thing. So the rest of this is mostly waffle, things like that. They are useful, but that is the single most important thing, because that's what I'm aiming for. I will keep showing you everything else obviously, but the fact that that's still going down, their scales confirm it's going down. In fact, when you convert 135 kilograms, it's 21 stone 4 pounds. We've already said their scales weigh slightly lighter than my scales do, so I'm not surprised there's a difference there. Okay, now the next page goes on about my body mass index. I think I've mentioned it before, but if I haven't, I'm not a great fan of body mass index as a calculation, because it puts my ideal weight at something stupid like between 9 and 12 stone for a 6-foot bloke. That's ambitious to say the least. There's some people on my team, there's one person on my team who's slightly smaller than me, I believe. He's probably to about there or something like that. But he's on 14 stone, and whilst his BMI says he's overweight, he's not. He's fitter than most people I know. So it's clearly right when he goes obese or very obese, but when it's going slightly overweight, I think that's an exaggeration. I think they're not generous enough with the BMI ranges, I think. So obviously I do need to lose weight, and my BMI is currently 40.8, but that's gone down 5 points in the time I've been doing this, and just under 2 points in the last 3 months, so we're going the right way still. But that goes with the weight loss, let's be honest, so it's not a great indicator. Then there's the waist to hip ratio. Now this was rubbished in the last report because they reckoned they'd measured me in the wrong place. Again, this trainer, it was a new person, he reckoned he'd measured me in the wrong, the last person measured me in the wrong place as well, but it went down to 1.02. Now, I don't know, and I don't care if they measure in the right place or the wrong place. Again, it's one of those, it's heading the right way, and, well, if you saw Sunday's video, you would have seen the picture of my belt, which shows how many inches I've lost, basically. I reworked it out after the video, and I've gone from 52 inches to 46 inches, pushing for 45 inches, basically. So that's a whole 6 or 7 inches in the time I'd had that belt. Then there's blood pressure. Again, it's kind of just stuck at the same level. So, but that level is what they call the normal range, or good level for the diastolic. Either way, it's not a concern. Now, he did take this one twice, because the first time it gave quite a high reading, which surprised him. But we put that down to the walk between work and the gym. I was walking with one of my colleagues, so I was walking possibly a bit faster than I normally would. So a bit of a lie down, bit of a rest, and it went back to what it should be. So no problems there. And you should be rested before you go do these anyway, so it's pretty much exactly what it was. The aerobic fitness has gone down. But on the brief discussion we had, we basically said it's mainly because of those 2 weeks where I missed the gym because I was ill. It's going to have an impact on your fitness, so, but it's still better than it was at the very beginning. Again, not a great concern. As long as it keeps going in the right direction, we're happy with that. Then we got the resting heart rate, which again went down from last time. It was 69, it's now 63. No, I was going to tell you what it is right now, but it's giving me double dashes, so I can't actually show you that. So I can't compare it to what this thinks it is. Oh no, it's just come up with 74 now. I think that's probably because I'm talking a lot, a bit too much. I'm not getting my breathing right now while I'm talking to you, because I'm trying to do 10 things at once. I'm male, I can't multitask, let's be honest here. But that's still not bad, I think, 74, and to be honest, 60 to 79 is what they call the normal level. And then cholesterol, it gave a reading this time. Last time it didn't give a reading, it just said low. This time it gave a reading which was lower than the very first reading, and is well and truly in what they call the good range. So no concerns there. And blood glucose, again, that actually went slightly up, but it's still well within the good range, and that could have been down to what I ate yesterday. And I've got to be honest, I didn't eat that as well as I should have done. I had a McDonald's breakfast, so that probably didn't help. And it's not exactly a big issue. As I say, it's well within the good level. It's 4.6, and the good level goes up to 5.8. So we're not concerned. But it's one of those things that's never been an issue. Then they talk about, and I'm not going to flash these up because it's pretty pointless, hydration. It's pretty much, they ask me how much I drink a day. Alcohol, again, they ask me how much I drink, which the answer was none, because I very, very rarely drink. You know, I had a glass of champagne at Christmas, and I may have had a can of Strongbow since Christmas. That's it's one, there's 2 in 3 or 4 weeks. Not a concern, that's pretty much none, and he agreed with me. I told him exactly that and he agreed. Caffeinated drinks, we're talking the Cokes, because I don't really drink coffee. Again, limited amount, 2 a day. I basically stuck the same as what I said before. And sleep, I'm reporting 7 hours sleep each night. Again, this is all stuff that I'm telling him rather than things that he's measuring. So then we get to the health score. Now, mainly because the aerobic fitness went the other way, went down, the health score has gone down. I'm not putting too much into this at all, because, to be perfectly honest with you, I'm not quite sure that I understand the health score on this anyway. What I'm more interested in is the weight. So the health score's gone to 62, which is only 1 higher than it was at the very beginning, and keeps me in the top 70% of men, basically. He still thinks that's a good level, and I'm inclined to agree. I'm not so fussed by that at all. And he gives some action points at the end, which, as expected, just says, take steps to improve your body composition, which we translated in there as lose weight. It also says to hydrate more, because I'd said I'd drink 6 glasses of water a day. The basic gist here is some things went up because I wasn't exercising as much as I was 3 months ago, which we know because I was ill. But most things continue to go down, like the weight. So we're not overly concerned here. And he actually said to me, don't change what you're doing. So like I mentioned, that the last guy who has actually left the gym, which is why I can't have it with him anymore, the last guy did try to set me up on a program, and I did it for a couple of weeks, but it never gelled with me at the time. Maybe I need to lose more weight and try again later when I'm a bit fitter, where I'm more likely to last longer on a treadmill or something like that. He said, no, that's exactly right, just keep going as you are with the swimming, because it's working, basically. So that's the continued plan. Keep going with the swimming. Gonna try and get the steps back up again. So like today, excuse me, I really haven't done that well. I've done 6,500. I think this is something I'm going to start concentrating on again. So probably, well, I'll say from tomorrow, but to be perfectly honest with you, the big jumps will start from next week, because I do try to measure week to week, and try and get back up to that 10,000 steps per day. But as I say, we'll keep trying on that one. We'll work that one up as we're going along. So that was really what this week's midweek update is all about, the HealthMOT. Food wise, I'm going to say I've been shit. I've had a couple of chippies of sorts, so McDonald's breakfasts, and just had a Kentucky tea. I have just been shopping though to make sure I've got plenty of food in to substitute away from those sort of foods. So breakfast tomorrow is actually going to be beans on toast. Dinner, well, we're actually going to Nando's, but it's a work meal out, so it's a hard one to avoid. But I'm not going to try and avoid it. To be perfectly honest with you, I actually want to do this one, so I'm going to go with that one. But then tea, I've got some bread and some sandwich meat, so I'll have a butty. Friday, again, beans on toast for breakfast, or maybe even just toast, depending on how I feel when I wake up. Lunch, I will have butties, and for tea, I'm going into Chinatown with my sister. She's going to make me try some new foods. You can guarantee they will be healthy foods by the fact my sister is making me eat them. She is the health queen, I think, to be perfectly honest with you. And then Saturday and Sunday, I haven't mapped out any plan at all for that yet, but I'm also not going anywhere. I've got no plans to go anywhere, so the world is my oyster for the weekend at this moment in time. But I doubt I'll travel much further out than Bury, maybe Manchester or Bolton or something like that. Just see how we go. So that's all for today, folks. Make sure you catch up with us on Sunday, where I will give you the official weigh-in, so the one that's done on my scales here. Just a sneak preview, I did step on the scales this morning and they did show I'd gone up in weight, so I've got the rest of the week to try and bring that back down and work hard towards it again. But I'm not going to give you results on that, because that might incline you not to watch this weekend. But yeah, don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more of this. Give us a thumbs up if you like what we're doing. Thumbs down if you don't like it, but give us a comment or something. Comments are always welcome as well. Otherwise, thanks very much for watching, guys, and you have a good week.